We're also working the spine in extension, which we don't do in Pilates really very much either. I honestly include this in almost every single class I teach, or some version of. I don't always do the full version that way, but I do some sort of prone or laying on the belly and lifting the body up against gravity. Really important and beneficial to work those muscles, especially with Pilates. His whole purpose is to learn how to have good posture, stand up tall against gravity. In order to do that, you need a strong and awake back body. For swimming, it's usually done with the legs together in Pilates stance. Actually, I shouldn't say usually. Traditionally, it's done with the legs together in Pilates stance. However, that can cause a lot more compression in the lower back. For certain body types, it's totally doable, and you're still able to draw the belly in, lengthen the lower back, and not feel that compression. For many body types, it's going to cause more compression in the lower back. So if that's the case for you, and it will be for most people, then you can do the feet hip width apart. You can even do them a little wider. You can definitely do the legs parallel. I generally teach it parallel, feet hip width apart. That's more accessible, and that's what most people will be able to do in their body without feeling that compression in the lower back. For the arms, they're extended out, biceps by our ears. You can do palms turned down, which is traditional. You can also turn the palms towards each other. I usually do that one just because many of my students are doing yoga as well. And in yoga, we do a lot of this external rotation of the shoulder joint. So by turning the palms towards each other, we're activating those muscles, muscle memory, teaching them how to get that spin a little bit. But either works. And you really want to think about lengthening from the fingers to the toes. I always tell my students to think about lengthening more than lifting. If they lengthen, 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 and keep lengthening, eventually they will lift up. But it's more about this lengthening of the toes and the fingers away from each other, and the crown of the head and the tailbone away from each other. And then that will lift them up. Obviously, the belly is still pulling in as we press the pubic bone down towards the mat, and the tailbone is reaching back towards our heels. You inhale and exhale. You can start off slow, kind of, and then speed it up. Pilates actually called this the cardio section of the Pilates sequence. If you do Pilates exercise back to back to back to back, working through the transitions without breaks, then you'll definitely start to sweat, your heart rate will start to increase. But once you get here, because it is a little bit faster, if your heart rate's already up, it can get your heart rate up, definitely. Now, it's obviously not the same as going for a 5K run, but he called this the cardio segment of the Pilates series. I'm going to show legs parallel and hip width apart because that is what most people will be doing. That's what's appropriate for most people in their bodies. Extending the arms forward, draw the belly in, press the pubic bone towards the mat, reach your tailbone back, create length through the spine and through the entire body. Inhale to create so much length that eventually you float up. We inhale to lift one arm in the opposite leg, and then exhale to switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Every time you exhale, the belly is drawing in. Belly drawing in on every single exhale as you continue to lengthen, 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 and lift up against gravity. Sensitive, feel the afterglow. Looking for things that I can't control. Fear from my past, cause it always shows. Do I wanna try? Can I let it go? Running from the